How we doing, guys? Welcome to the player ratings. Chelsea against Arsenal finished 2-2. And yeah, I'm still not looking at that performance with any kind of positivity other than the fact that we somehow managed to salvage a draw. I don't know how we managed to salvage a draw. I don't know how we walked away from there, without being defeated. But listen, it is what it is at the end of the day. We played dreadful. Chelsea played the best they have all season, and it ends up being 2-2. We got very lucky. We needed a helping hand with the first goal and the mistake by the keeper and a brilliant finish from Declan Rice. And then a little moment of brilliance. Cross by Bukayo Saka. Great finish by Trossard. And that was the only highlight of the game. David Raya looked absolutely all over the place. It was just a poor performance all round from everybody, if I'm being honest with you. Even the players that normally have a really high level, they were really poor. And overall, it was a game to forget. The weather was awful, but I'm not, one of these that's going to blame the rain. And yeah, listen, we move. So let's go and get into the player ratings. Starting off in goal, David Raya. Awful performance again. Caught out of position with the goal. I know it was a cross, but you can't be getting beaten. Nearly gave the ball away and conceded another goal. He looks all over the place at the moment, and it's not great at all. David Raya, for me, gets a 3. It's as simple as that. Next up, Ben White. I don't think he had a bad performance. Wasn't the best. And I probably should, give him lesser marks for the haircut as well. That's more of a summer trim than anything. But listen, it is what it is. Ben White, 6 for me. It was a, standard performance, not great. And yeah, I'd say a 6 is fair enough. Next up, William Saliba gave away the penalty. Listen, it wasn't a penalty. Okay, let me explain something. The laws will state it's a penalty. But when a player's jumping, they use their arm for leverage. There was nothing untoward about Saliba's, body shape in the way that he was jumping. Now, Mudryk gets the header. It's going wide. It's hit Saliba's arm from a yard away. It's not a penalty. If it hits Saliba's arm without any deflection or anything, you can say, okay, penalty. He's completely missed the flight of the ball. It's his own fault. We can accept that. But when he's in motion, which you can't jump like this. Well, you're a penguin. So you jump, the ball then gets headed onto his arm. Nah, not for me. But I just feel that overall his performance wasn't great. I'll give him a 6 as well. Next up, Gabriel. Again, bit like Saliba. Not the greatest of performances. Yeah, I will probably give him a 6 as well, to be honest. Next up, Zinchenko, taken off at half-time. Rightly so. He was dreadful. There's not really much to say about that performance, to be honest. He gets a 4. That was a really poor performance. Next up, we have Jorginho. Wasn't a great performance either, to be honest with you. And I'm going to simply give him a 5. Next up, we're going to have Bukayo Saka. Very, very quiet afternoon. I don't know if he's still 100% fit. It's an interesting one. But the one time he had to do something, he put in a beautiful cross for the goal. So for that, yeah, I'll give him a 6 as well. But overall, it was a below par performance, So there we go. Next up, we have Martin Odegaard. Very, very poor performance. Seen a lot of people talking on social media about Martin Odegaard and that, he should have the captaincy taken off him and other stuff like that. It's like, listen, short memories, okay? He's had some bad games and they've been in big games. Is there concern? Yes, there will be. Because when Odegaard don't play, Arsenal don't play. But yeah, that performance was, it wasn't great at all. I'm going to give him a 5. It wasn't a great performance at all. Next up, Declan Rice. Listen, gets that goal. The one player that can hold his head high. The one player that seems to be leading the team. The one player that doesn't need an armband to be a leader on a pitch. He is just exceptionally good. I thought the first half he wasn't that great in terms of his passing. There was one in the first 5 minutes where it kind of put us on the back foot, and even he will admit that he was quite sloppy in that respect. But the second half stood up to be counted, did what he had to do. But I'm not going to go and over-exaggerate the marks or anything else like some people might do. He gets a 7 for me. It was a decent enough performance. Probably stand out of a bad bunch, but yeah, nothing to write home about. Next up, we have Martinelli. Tried to get in the game a few times, but didn't. And yeah, it was kind of, in and out in terms of his performance. So I would say, for me, Martinelli, a 6. Straightforward. Next up, Gabriel Jesus. Can't fault his work rate, but overall, it was a very poor performance. It wasn't that great. Service was non-existent, to be fair. And overall, just wasn't... of the level that we, require. So, again, I'll give Jesus a 5, to be fair. You're looking at the substitutions. I'm not going to specifically mark them. I'll speak about them in terms of Tomiyasu coming on. I thought he done really well, and he actually done the whole second half. And, yeah, he done really well. I'd give him a 6 with Tomiyasu. But the rest of them... what I will say, Eddie wasn't able to really get into the game. Smith Rowe, he looks a yard off it. He really does look a yard off it. And I can see why he's not starting games. And some may say it's harsh, but it's the reality. We need players that are going to come in and do things. And I think he's a million miles away at the moment. Trossard scores the goal. Superb. Kai Havertz, special mention for him because, again, goes up front. And for the second game in a row, he looks dangerous when he plays up as that number 9. And, was winning headers and doing everything that he needs to do. I thought that was a decent little cameo from Kai Havertz. In terms of Mikel Arteta, well, look, listen, apart from Jorginho, that's probably the starting 11 that you would want. There's question marks over why Thomas Partey never come on. That one we will never know. But made the subs, got the goals that got us back into the game and everything. And I would say a 6 for Mikel Arteta. That's generous enough for me. The fans, I felt they were a little bit quiet. It was a bit dismayed yesterday. I kind of understand it when you're going 2-0 down and playing so poor. But our away support's normally a lot better. I'd probably say a 7, to be fair. The referee, listen, poor performance again. I think that a lot of people are not really talking about his performance overall. I think that if we would have lost, you probably would have more, or even if we would have won. But yeah, it was just really, really poor. The first goal's not a penalty. And then you're looking at some of the fouls that he was giving away. And then you're looking at some of the fouls that he's not penalising Chelsea for. I'm not going to talk about Cole Palmer and that tackle because I don't think that was a red card. But you've got to look at Thiago's one. Lunges in with both feet, studs showing. And, a replica of that would have been a couple of years ago. Granit Xhaka at Man City went in with both feet, studs showing, won the ball, but got a red card. Identical. Doesn't even get reviewed. And then towards the end, he was giving fouls to Chelsea because Cucurella's rolling around on the floor when he hasn't even been touched. Just a horrible, crap performance, to be honest. 0. Can't stand referees, man. So yeah, look, listen, that's it for the player ratings. As usual, let me know in the comment section whether you agree or disagree. If you're new around here, make sure you do hit that subscribe button as well. Put the notification bell on. And Champions League in midweek, we'll be back for that. So yeah, I will see you a lot soon. I'm out of here.